What's up? I'm gonna be making a video. I'm putting a skid plate and caliper guard and some fork shoe covers on. Got a 2013 kx450. I been doing a lot of things to it lately. It's gonna get a new head soon, and I'm probably going to be doing that next week. Well, let's get into it. So first thing, you got to take it off the stand, lay it over to where you can get access to the skid plate. I got an aluminum one on right now. I'm going to take off. I was using for a long time. I had it on there for 7 years now. And it's getting changed. So we got 2 bolts and 2 screws. Let's take the Allens out first. This is a really good skid plate for woods and trail riding. It works great. I just wanted something that looked a little bit better, so I went with carbon fiber. Pretty good idea to put some blue Loctite on these, because you don't want them coming out while you're riding, but definitely don't put red on there. Probably strip the bolts out and Allen heads out if you do that. Be 10. Should be able to get with this. I just pulled this off not too long ago. I should clean it, but probably won't. Like I said, I got this 7 years ago, Duval, all aluminum. I've had it on the bike the entire time, and it's worked amazing. Really good. Now that I've done that, I'm actually going to check my water pump. Yeah, overheated last time, so I'm just gonna check and make sure that the bolt didn't come loose, because it just got a full motor rebuild, and I want to make sure the impeller's still on there before I do anything else. So to do that, I'm going to put it back on the stand. I'm going to drain the coolant out, and then I'm going to pull that water pump cover off and make sure that it's still good, still on there right. Water pump here. There's a little bolt here, drain plug. It's the one you take out first just to drain it. And then I'm going to be taking this cover off because I'm not going to need it anymore with my new cover. So that'll be coming off, and then I'm going to pull the water pump off and make sure that the impeller's still on. So let's get after it. Like I said, changing the water pump. I got to drain it first. I'm probably going to make a little bit of a mess, but it will be okay. pain in the butt with this guard on. To be honest, I should take the guard off first. So that's what I'm gonna do. Just an 8. Pretty simple. Basically, it's one single bolt right there. Just an 8. Super easy to take off. And that's pretty much what I'm doing right now. And then I will switch to taking off these after I get it drained. And let's get after it. Need to find a good spot for the camera to sit, for you guys to see better. Take off this. Super easy, just 1/8. Then now we're gonna empty that out. Empty out all the coolant. It's got kind of a little vapor lock going on because I gotta open the cap up top on the radiator, and that'll let it flow faster. Now that the cap's off, just drain it out quick. Takes a little while. I'm actually going to start pulling the bolts off before I take that hose off. See what they look like. Alright, got those bolts out. I actually don't think I need to pull the hose off, so I'm going to gently pull this off. Alright, impeller looks great. And she's still holding on good. Shouldn't free spin like that. So, for some reason, that shouldn't. Huh. Okay, well, it looks like my water pump shaft is stripped. So I'm gonna be taking this cover off and seeing what's going on back there. More work than I want to do today, but gotta be done. So let's get at it. Get at it. First thing I'm gonna be doing is pulling the brake because it's blocking everything, and then I'll pull this. Then I'm gonna be pulling the header, and then I will probably pull this cover off and take out this, but that will be a little different. I'm gonna be pulling the bike off the stand and setting it on its side. Do that so that the oil will run to the other side of the motor. And yeah. So let's see here.
We got limited slip differential.
Cool. Most of those Dodges do.
Found a piece of paper on the hood, it's totally black, and then wiped it off.
My water pump shaft is stripped out.
Oh no. No wonder. That would cause it to heat up, even burn up.
Yep, that's why it's gonna be getting fixed, and then
Gotta keep an eye on it when that happens. When things get hot like that, you make sure you
yep. So the header bolts are 12s, and those are coming out now. Usually pretty easy to get off, so. Slides right off. I'm gonna grab these dowel pins out so I don't lose them. Pretty easy to pull out. So I have to pull this cover off to get some impeller shafts, which is I guess stripped out because I can just spin it by hand. You shouldn't be able to do that. There's a little gear in there that's supposed to be spinning when it should lock. I have to replace it. This is a Rekluse auto clutch. I got the cover off. I figured I'd kind of explain it. Basically, I'm just going to explain how it works, more or less. You got this the auto clutch part right here. It has little wedges in it, and when the speed of the motor goes up, the RPM, the wedges will come out and it'll separate these plates and engage your clutch. Well, you have to adjust them, and on the Cowies and other bikes without hydraulic clutch that have them, you have to take the cover off and you have to spin this inside. If you can see the numbers, there's a 2, 3, and a 1. Pretty hard to see, but you got all these little notches, and then you spin it one way or the other to adjust it, depending on how the clutch is grabbing. It's pretty simple. Takes a little bit of fine tuning, but once you get it, it's great. I've had this on the bike for 7 years, and all of the discs look brand new. The basket looks brand new. It's a Rekluse basket as well, but everything looks really good. So I've very much enjoyed the clutch. It's really good. It's not super great for motocross. It's really good in the woods, but yeah, you don't get no wheel chatter with this if you're braking hard for the rear on a motocross track where wheel chatter is kind of nice to have. But anyway, let's get back at pulling this cover off. I'm just going to use this tool as well. It's super easy and convenient to have. I'll probably have to pull that oil pump cover off. I think the bolts are also part of the bolts that run through, at least one of them. Oops, dropped the bolt. Pretty sure it's stuck in the frame. Cool, that's gonna be fun to get. I don't know where it fell to. I will find it in a bit. Yep, like I said, one does run through. It's the top. If I had to guess, the other one probably runs through too. I don't know. Just gonna pull it out and see. I forgot. I had to replace the bottom one because it started to pull. Started to pull the threads there, and it was stretching it. So it's what happens over years and years of, you know, changing your oil and stuff. I mean, it happens. It is what it is. Now, I'm going to try to pull the cover off without doing anything to drop anything. There's dowel pins in here, which can make it kind of difficult. But there's this little tab, I'll show you. A little tab right here, and there should be one right over here. And if you put your hand behind that or your finger in that one, and you slowly work it back and forth, that whole cover should come off pretty easy. Now I'm trying to also preserve this gasket because I don't have another one and I don't really want to buy another one, so I'm hoping that it'll come off as well, nice and easy. We will see though. And it looks like it did. One little spot kind of stuck, which is not a big deal. Now I'm trying to figure out why this impeller shaft is sticking.
Yeah.
Not spinning.
Not yet.
Okay, so at further inspection, it looks like the shaft of the water pump actually slid out in the motor because this piece right here was missing. So the shaft moved down out to where it wasn't making contact with the counterbalance anymore, so it wasn't sitting in there like it should. That's a pretty easy fix. I'm going to put this clip back on, and then I'm going to put the motor back together, and hopefully, I'm pretty sure it'll work just fine. So that's the plan. Pretty easy to do. I got another water pump seal here. As you can see, I won't need it because the one that I used on here is it's really good. I got a little box of extra parts I always keep around. I bought a bunch of extra little things that just in case I need them, I keep them around. That's why I have an extra clip. I think either when I was putting this cover back on, I either forgot that clip or it came off. I don't think it came off. I'm pretty sure I forgot it. So luckily I caught this before anything happened. Let's put it back on. Go. She snapped in place. Now, you gotta make sure when you're putting this back on that there's this little floater gear here. There's a shaft that runs through that gear. And you see this goes in here like so. And you don't want to forget that. It makes it a little bit harder to put this all back on because you got to line the dowel pins and that and everything else, but do not forget that. You need that gear there. Otherwise you're gonna have a little bit of trouble. Okay, let's put this back together. All right, now hopefully I'll just go right on. Make sure that that's kind of facing the way it needs to go of the counterbalance shaft. Now slide this down. Try to line up all the dowel pins and that rod. Can be a little bit of a struggle sometimes, but just be patient and kind of wiggle it. And almost got her. There we go. Tap it on. The dowel pin on this side over here would be a little bit tough to get over. Now, it looks like it's on. And as you can see, I cannot free move that anymore. That is what you want. That means it's locked into that counterbalance shaft, and that is what you need. Everything is back together. Thing looks good. That is right. That gear, you can kind of see it in here. It's a little bit hard. You probably can't see it on the GoPro, but the shaft runs through it right there. And make sure that gear's still sitting in there, and it is. Now we just go ahead and put all the bolts back in and start bolting everything back up. It should be pretty simple from here on. And basically do everything in reverse. Back to what I was doing initially. So I got these new skid plates and stuff that I'm putting on, and they look freaking sweet. They come with all their bolts. So I'm gonna put these suckers on and see what I think about them. I got that water pump issue all sorted and whatnot, so time to break these things up and see what I got. I'm excited. So it comes with a little bag of bolts and whatnot. That carbon fiber looks friggin' sweet, man. I would clean up the bike to do it, but I'm just gonna give it a nice pressure wash after I get the new head on. I'm gonna wash the entire bike, and that's probably next week. So I didn't bother putting my exhaust back on because that whole head's coming off later anyway. So I'm not gonna be running it until I get everything changed out. Let's get after this piece, man. Look at it. That looks good. Woo, that looks good. She is a beauty. And I honestly kind of want to wash her up before I do it, but I'll tell you. I'm debating it. I think I'm going to go wash it real quick. She's getting a wash before I put these parts on. At least that part of the motor is gonna get washed. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, I did a quick little spot clean just to make it look a little better. I mean, it's not great, but it's definitely better than it was. So I'm changing this. The reason why I'm changing this is look at this thing. Look how flimsy that is. I mean, I've never had an issue in 7 years of everything, trails, everything else. Any kind of riding you can do, I've done it. But, I mean, it was 20 bucks for the carbon fiber one, and that's a lot stronger, and it looks a lot better. So I went with the carbon fiber. And then this part, I've had the aluminum one on there forever, and it's been amazing. I mean, whatever. But I'm just going for something that looks super good, and so I went with these carbon fiber. Like, look at those things. That is so nice. Oh man, I can't wait. All right, let's put them on. What do you guys think? I think so. Man, look at the fit of this thing. Like, it fits so precise. Look at that fit. It covers the water pump. It just looks amazing. Oh man, I love it. So let's start getting these things together. That's what I say. Though, I mean, I don't really like Allen head stuff for this stuff, but that's what came with it. I don't understand why they did that. Not a fan of Allen head at all. It just is what it is, though. Gotta use what you got, you know what I mean? What I got is not what I like, but it is what I got. So here's a little trick I've learned. So you got these little spacers that can be a pain. It can be a real pain because you're trying to line it up and everything else. So what I've learned is you can go get gasket maker and just put a dab of it on the back side here, and then just set it on there, and it'll kind of stick to the skid plate and where it needs to be, and it'll stay there. It makes it a lot easier to guide it up in place. Just for the sake of simplicity, it just makes it a lot easier. Not like it really matters whether you have it or not. It's not important, not necessity or anything like that. It just makes it easy. You probably use like grease too. I'd assume grease would work, because you know grease is tacky, so a little dab of grease or anything that helps those little things sit where they're gonna stay, and it just makes your life easier. Now these come with spacers you definitely want to put down, so and put quite enough gasket maker on this one so it's not sitting where it should be. Let's put a little bit more. She started sliding. Again, it's not like it needs it or anything, it's just there. It just makes it easier to do the job. Shepherd, no. And then you put these little washers on here. And you put it up there. Like I'm so. And I can't believe how nice of a fit this thing is. It's amazing. It's almost too good. Yikes. My goodness. The fit is so good that it makes it kind of hard to actually get it to line up. It's pretty interesting. It's pretty cool. If you can hear my dog in the background chasing the car. Bet you can hear the little guy yapping. He's a little jerk. What he is. Chases everything and everyone. Got that one started. I just gotta get this one started. Alright, both are started. Look at that. That's gonna be so nice, man. Cannot wait. It's so pretty. I can't believe how clean this thing is. How nice it looks. I mean, goodness. It is gorgeous. Now, I'm going to leave those just a little bit loose for now. I'm actually going to snug up this one.